Welcome to Columbia, Missouri, and Faroe Field, named for the father of the split T, where the Missouri Tiger fans are hoping that they put together a big W. As we wind our way toward the end of another college football season, one of the grand traditions is paying tribute and respect to those who have just poured their souls into the success of this program and honor the seniors on Senior Day. As we'll see, the number 16 team in the country, the Arkansas Razorbacks, taking on the 17th ranked team in the land, the Missouri Tigers. Glad to have you with us for EA Sports College Football. I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack and Jesse Palmer with me in the booth. Guys, we are ready to tee it up. Missouri about to kick off to lift the lid on this one. The ball bounces through the end zone, and it will be a touchback. First down here for the offense. They'll start this drive with a pass. Moving, keeping the eyes downfield. Got his man on the right. Really confident throw and catch there. Big pickup, and they have a first down.
That's a really nice looking throw, and I'll tell you, he fits in great with this offense because there's been this philosophical shift recently in the SEC offensively. It used to be you had to run the football. I formation, 3 yards in a cloud of dust if you wanted to win. But today, though, you have got to be able to throw if you're going to win. You think about all the great offensive play callers now in the SEC, all the Heisman Trophy winners that have played recently at the QB position. You got to do it through the air, and this guy in Arkansas gives them a chance.
Caught near the sideline, it's Harris. They have relished this tight victory since the last time these two got together, Colin.
It's just winning is beautiful. And when you beat your rival and you get those bragging rights, Palmer, it is a glorious thing for a whole year and sometimes longer.
Well, that's the best thing about rivalry games like this. For the winning team, whoever pulls this one out here today, their fans are going to be bragging about this one for a long time.
Deep in the season, that crisp air all around you, and this feels like a must-win game, guys.
This is a game that will impact the college football playoff. It'll have conference championship implications, and it'll have bowl game implications as well. David, so much riding on the line in this one.
And you can feel it, man. You can feel the energy. The players this week, they were on high. Like, you could tell they were ready for the challenge. This is going to be an absolute showdown.
And the Razorbacks look to keep this drive humming. They'll go to the counter.
You know, runs like this oftentimes are like the boxer in a boxing match. Obviously, it's not a knockout punch, but these are body blows. And as the game goes on, these small gains are going to turn into longer runs.
After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. From the shotgun, the inside give. A strong tackle and wrap up from the junior. The line to gain here is the 43-yard line, and it's 3rd down. The run from the shotgun. At the 35, he's loose. Oh, look out. Touchdown, Arkansas. And once he got loose, it was all over. And it feels good to land that first big punch against a rival, doesn't it?
No doubt. In a game like this, too, you just want to be executing it at a high level early. So, David, that's got to feel great getting on the board first.
And settles everyone down. All the nerves, all the emotion of this rivalry game. Now everybody can kind of settle in because you know you already got a touchdown on the board.
Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. and gets set. First down. Give to the running back. They stop him after a 6-yard run out to the 24. Missouri wants to go fast. From the gun. Give on the inside. And this one will be stopped for no gain. Boy, could they use a conversion on 3rd and short from their own 24. From the gun, wants to pass. And they fail to hook up on 3rd down.
Well, the defense watched film last week. They saw this running back catch multiple passes, and that hasn't been the case today. They are clamping down on him, always aware of him, especially in the passing game, and so far they've taken him away.
They told us they were going to be aggressive no matter where they were on the field. Didn't take long to prove it. Going for it on 4th down in their first drive. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. And they gambled in their own end, turn it over on downs, and now the other offense is set up.
Man, your goal of a defense is to stop them, is to force punts, and then this is just gravy. Now they go for it on 4th down and medium. On their side of the field, you get the big stop and a chance to switch the momentum here in the first half.
And they try to run inside, and there is nowhere to go.
Awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
The short hands, it's Harris. He'll be brought down at the 3-yard line. An explosive play in the passing game has him on the doorstep.
This is a tight end that not only is going to play with his hand in the ground, but he can line up in the slot as well and attack the defense vertically. He's too fast for linebackers to cover, and he's too big for DBs to cover. He's a real weapon in this offense.
The Razorbacks will try to punch it in on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. He steps and powers and works his way. They finally get him down at the 2. Now the offense tries to punch it in on 2nd and goal. Trying to barge their way in. And he's knocked down.
The big defensive tackles in the middle, they're not always the best pass rushers, but they are strong, and I say country strong. They put their hands on you, you feel it. They lock people out on the line of scrimmage. They create separation. They wrap running backs.
Quarterback sneaks it forward and into the end zone for a touchdown. PAT unit on the field. And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
All right, guys, want to update you on a game that went final moments ago. North Carolina ran roughshod over the competition today en route to a double-digit victory. And they looked clean doing it. And I don't just mean in those Carolina blue unis. This team is a buttoned-up group. A lot to go through in the film session this week for both teams. But, boy, it sure is going to be easier for the side that came away with the win.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. Missouri has the offense ready to go on the field. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right.
Racing to the right. He's inside the 40. At the 20. And he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Tiger.
You just simply can't say enough about this guy and what he has meant to this offense. Big-time players make big plays in big games. He has shown up each and every week. That's his 15th rushing score on the season.
About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. Going for the return. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. they did last time and put this one in the end zone.
You ain't lying. They did a great job. The offense was clicking. Everything went well. Palmer, they executed and got the touchdown.
And they really were in a nice rhythm as well. And I'd love to see that here on the next drive, too. Just keep doing what you're doing. Everything seems to be working, and you seem to have this defense on their heels.
They'll run it from the gun. Finds his way ahead for 3 out to the 16. I know you want to prepare for every game the same way, but there's just something different about rivalry games, Jesse.
It's because, Reese, I think players are aware that games like this define your legacy as a player. Your record in rivalry games is something that people are going to talk about for years and years down the road. You have got to show up and play your best football in games like this.
And the Razorbacks getting set on 1st and 10. Looking to move it through the air. The throw. How about that play to get a hand in there and force the incompletion?
And I know it wasn't successful there, but you can go back to last week. Like, they're going to throw this man the football. They find creative ways to get in the ball. Really good coaches get their playmakers the ball in space, and that's what I like about this offense. I bet they come back to him and find a way to throw him the football some more.
And after the incompletion on 1st down, this offense looking at 2nd down. Running back searching for a hole. At the 40, there he goes. Got a lot of running room. You want to talk about shifting the field in an instant. He's got it all the way down to the 10-yard line.
We didn't have to work very hard on that one. There was nobody in sight as he rips off a massive run.
Sort of a mark of excellence for any back is yards after contact. Well, yards before contact can be sort of a badge of honor for that O-line.
Yeah, let's give them some credit.
And he cruises his way to the house. Touchdown, Razorbacks! I tell you, when this drive started, the defense thought they had them in a hole. Not anymore. What a performance.
And I really like the play calling by the offensive coordinator on that last drive. That was a nice mixture of running and throwing and getting different players involved. Really nice job, very poised in that play calling, and it showed up with a touchdown.
About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. On the move from inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Mizzou has it back in the offense coming out on the field. There's certainly still a hill to climb, but they've got to make sure these drives pay off. Got a touchdown last time. Can they back it up here?
Well, and it's amazing in a football game how sometimes they'll surprise you with what you do. Once you get settled, you realize what's going on. Now, I'm comfortable with it. Jesse, this offense looked comfortable on its last drive.
They sure did. It looked like they started to find some momentum. So now it's on this defense to stop that, all right? You're a little bit upset based on what just happened the previous drive. You've got to bow up again and go back to what was working earlier in this game.
Stopping the run is about physicality. It's about I'm bigger than you. I'm stronger than you up front. Really nice job by the defense, showing their strength, bowing up, stuffing the run.
Quarterback reacting to what the D is showing. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. Got his man to the left. That one could really put this drive into high gear as they have a 1st down at the 37.
And listen, the defense knew coming into this one, they were going to target him early and often. He is a weapon, and there's no mystery where the quarterback's going to be looking on critical down and distances. Let's see how they're able to cover him throughout the rest of this game.
They'll start the drive here with 1st down to open this period. They go to the ground. They can rely on this guy to pick up solid yardage when they need it, and he's out to the 43. 6-yard pickup on 1st down leaves him with 2nd and 4. They'll run play action. Quarterback now breaking the field. Nothing to do with the football, and he just throws it away. It'll be 3rd down.
Like the job by the defense there in coverage. They took every option away from the quarterback. He was outside of the pocket, nowhere to go with it, so they forced the incompletion throw away.
Here's the snap, itching to fire downfield. A little screen to the running back. They make the stop, but not before the screen has hit him for a first down and much more. Really good execution by this offense.
Hey, man, sometimes you get the perfect play call at the perfect time. That time the defense blitzing, offensive line allowed everybody to run upfield, and they slip in the running back screen, and behind it there was nobody there to make a tackle, and this offense generates a massive play.
Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down. They're about to snap it for the 7th time on this drive. From the gun, running back gets to give. Really good pickup on second down there. Leaves them with 3rd and 2.
Keep pounding away at this defense and make them play the run. If you can get this many a chunk, they're going to have to commit more guys to the box, more guys to the run. Then you open it up for the passing.
They were all over him, nowhere to go as that 3rd down play turned into a disaster.
Well, that guy is so quick coming out of his stance. Did you see how fast he got to the ball carrier to get that tackle for loss? Wow.
They really have no choice here. This is a no-brainer. You go for it here on this 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Takes a hit as he fires. Tight end finds a soft spot. This senior quarterback knows how to take a hit and still deliver a completion. Missouri has it ready to go with another first down. Use the play fake, now to throw. Fires to the right. And the pass hits, picked off. And he'll be marked down, but what a play to come up with that interception.
Well, the defense came into this one knowing they needed to create takeaways to try to gain as much momentum as they could. Really nice interception on that play. Great job with the eyes by the defender there picking that up.
He'll come out throwing on first down. Going over the top. He's got it downfield for a huge gain.
Yeah, and the quarterback knew exactly where he wanted to go with the football, had time, spins the ball deep. Nice job by this offense, understanding what the defense is giving them and creating the explosive play.
A confident, tough, efficient run gets it up to the 44.
So this offense came into the game knowing they wanted to be physical, they wanted to establish the line of scrimmage, and they're running downhill right at this defense, and they're churning out positive yardage early.
Quick touch pass to the receiver. And a decent gain there before the defense makes the stop.
And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all run after the catch. So pretty easy for a QB.
You wouldn't have been the only All-American in this booth, David, if I were allowed to have push passes when I was playing quarterback. I'll tell you that. It is so hard to defend. It's so hard to seal that edge, especially when this guy's full speed ahead coming around the outside.
The Razorbacks are rolling down the field. They're getting this guy lathered up. And he'll get behind those pads and deliver the blow and get it down to the 44.
You know, tackling is a lost art in college football. I'm sorry. You got to do a better job defensively there. At least two different guys had a chance to bring him down. They couldn't do it.
Flushed out of the pocket. Makes his connection. He steps out of bounds, but he's got a first down on the play.
Great job by the QB and the wide receiver understanding what they had to do to get a first down. I don't care about the completion. I don't care about getting a certain amount of yards. I got to get that first down so I get another set of downs so we can keep this drive alive.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
Using the quick game. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
Great play by the cornerback. He was just way too physical at the point of attack. He beat his man trying to block him, and he tackled that receiver on the screen.
And the Razorbacks get it past the sticks.
Well, this offense is sending a little bit of a message here. Of course, we know how much they've struggled on third down all season long. They're just never able to seem to get into a rhythm, but After that last running play, moving the sticks, you just wonder what that does for their confidence.
Looking to go up top on first down. They're trying to get to it. Didn't have much of a choice there, but to get rid of it. Second down here, and maybe they've got time to get one more snap off before the 2-minute warning. He'll pull it on the read. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
That option game can be tricky, right? But nice job by the defense playing assignment football. And watch the linebacker. You could tell. Locked in on the quarterback. Chases him down. Gets to him. Not only gets to him, doesn't let him break a tackle. Gets him on the ground.
3rd and long coming from the 27-yard line. You can make a field goal from here. Just don't take a negative play. Out of the gun. The running back has it. And sure, tackling there to keep him from getting to the first down marker.
How nice is it as a play caller when you've got a running back as good as this guy, right? I mean, you can just dial up conservative run calls. Nothing has to be too tricky, too fancy. You just know he's going to go make good things happen. Even when it's not blocked properly, he is still finding ways to rip off long runs. This guy now has over 150 yards rushing in the game. Doesn't look like he's slowing down, guys.
That lead just keeps getting fatter, and this kickoff team doing a little running. He'll bring it out. It's Pot. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. Missouri has the offense ready to go on the field. These guys have taken some body blows in the first half, but now a chance to do something to feel a little better going into halftime.
Reese, they got to respond now. They got to put points on the board right here, cut into this deficit, create a little bit of momentum because this one's going to get out of hand otherwise.
Yeah, there are a lot of offenses out there that might just say, okay, let's just regroup and figure it out. This offense doesn't have time to do that. They've got to be aggressive. They've got to throw it downfield. They've got to score points.
He wants to throw here on second down. Blasted as he lets it go. That pass is incomplete, and they're probably fortunate that it wasn't knocked free for a fumble.
This really has been a Jekyll and Hyde story for this quarterback. His last game out, he completed over 80% of his throws, but things just not going his way in this one. You've got to give the defense a ton of credit.
From the gun, he'll try to throw for it on third down. It's on target and complete. He steps out of bounds, but it will be enough for a first down.
There's got to be a sense of urgency for this offense right now. They're trailing. They're going to be kicking off to open the second half. So they need points. They need to go tempo. Maybe that last first down gets them a little bit of confidence.
Gets it out quickly. And he'll make his way out of bounds after the solid pickup.
And a nice job finding my wide receiver. And then how about the wide receiver turning into a running back, getting upfield, getting some positive yards, and getting the first down.
Quarterback checking the play. They want to just keep throwing it. It's complete to the left. At the 45 on his way. Big gain on that one as he steps out of bounds with a first down.
I know it's early in the game, but defensively after that play, you know you have to tackle the catch. When this guy gets the ball in his hands, he is so dangerous after the fact. So it's okay for him to make catches. Just got to get him to the ground quickly.
Comes out throwing on first down. Quickly complete. Touchdown, Missouri! What a catch and run for 6.
And I tell you what, that passing touchdown, man, that should spark this whole team. Like, the comeback is more than on now. Like, they got the touchdown. They cut into the lead. You want to get a stop and go into the half, get all the juices, all the excitement, and be like, listen, the passing game's rolling. We got this. The comeback's in full effect.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Week in and week out, guys, you never know what's going to happen in college football. Check this out. UTSA is down right now inside the Alamo Dome, but this young man under center today has shown some moxie. We could see a legend born in San Antonio. It's a touchdown game. They're trailing by 7 to East Carolina. We'll circle back. If anything big happens, you should know about it.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. And Arkansas ready to send out this offense. They've got time, they've got the lead, and David is sort of like a doctor. First, do no harm.
Do no harm, but also momentum is hard to create and sometimes hard to stop. You have it. So, Jesse, don't do anything stupid to create some momentum for the other side.
I think a lot of this comes down to your quarterback and whether or not he's making good decisions in this game. If yes, be aggressive. If not, let's just take the lead into halftime and get ready for the second half.
To the air on first down. From the comfort of the pocket, he fires it to the right.
That defender is lucky on that play because he was beat on that deep route. He's lucky the QB overthrew that play.
Really need positive yards on second down. After the incompletion, they'll snap it from the 44. It's complete to the right. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. Third down play from the gun. He's got his man. Putting together a real scoring threat here as they pick up the first down at the 36. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for one or two more plays. We've got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. So it's first down, but with just a few seconds, they'll try to put up a 3 before halftime. And that is no good. Guys, a double-digit lead is good, but more would have been better. Just enough time for one final play in this half. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. Turns it on in midfield. They make the stop, and that is the end of the first half. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update. The Razorbacks will kick it off to start the second half. You'll call for the fair catch here. Mizzou has it back in the offense coming out on the field. Down 2 possessions to start this third quarter. They'd love to build some early momentum.
You ain't lying because you only got so many possessions here in the second half. So now you're down. I got to maximize every single one. Put your best plays together. Start this drive off on a good note.
Yeah, it starts right here. Obviously, you can't get it all back on this drive, but you can create that momentum. You can create something special and some energy, but it's going to start with this offense here executing at a high level.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. He's looking to throw. Release to the back. It's complete. Gets it to the 42-yard line, and that's a first down. This is the kind of performance, guys, that sort of etches your name in the roar of a rivalry.
And playing big in this big moment, on this big stage, it is so nice to have a playmaker like that you can highlight, that you can focus on, that you can trust in.
He was so excited coming into this game, too, because he knows that oftentimes your legacy as a player is defined by how you play in rivalry games like this.
Mizzou coming out with a fresh set of downs. Little touch pass to the receiver. You'll take 4 yards on first down every time, 2nd and 6. The play action fake. Got his man quickly. Stopped after making the catch.
Yeah, and you see running backs in today's football, they play a wide receiver basically for you, but you got to find a guy that you can throw it to, and you know he's going to catch the ball consistently.
They'll try to pick it up on the ground. They've got it just outside the red zone. They'll move the chains. It's at the 21.
Well, they get another big run for a first down, and if you're on offense, you love the way your offensive line is blocking early in this game. They're getting tremendous movement, and they're making life pretty easy for these running backs right now.
He's going to pass. Firing toward the end zone. Touchdown, Tiger. And the comeback is on. Got to start cutting into this lead somewhere. Now the question, will they have enough time?
But that's step one. You got to get that first score. You got to get back in the ball game and get some of that momentum back on your side. You still got more work to do, but step one accomplished.
And the extra point pulls them to within 3, 24-21. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. On the run from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. The Hogs send that offense back onto the field. We talk about settling for points, but sometimes when you have to settle for nothing, David, it can be demoralizing.
Yeah, and it can definitely be frustrating. And I think it leads you to say maybe I can go for it more. But, Jesse, I think this offense just needs to put another drive together and just finish strong.
Yeah, and be a little bit less predictable, too, especially as they get closer and closer down to the end zone.
Still at their own 20 after that last incompletion. It's 2nd and 10. Crosses the 30. He's got a lane. And a really nice run and pick up there before the defense avoided disaster and stopped the really big play.
Another good run. Man, he has been picking up yards in bunches today. Jesse showing off all the skills.
And he's showing no signs of slowing down, David. This guy just gets better as the game goes on. He is a beast.
They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. Lost 1 on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. He's looking to throw. He finds his man. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a first down. This proficiency in the passing game can take you back to yesteryear, one of the great quarterbacks in Arkansas history, Joe Ferguson.
Yeah, just slinging the pill, just being able to provide balance, being able to attack down the field, get people out of the box, and not be predictable. That's a really good job by this quarterback.
They'll throw it on first down. Quick strike complete. Got room at the 35. He's off to the races. Boy, are they loving that huge play. He's got it down to the 9.
How nice is it as a quarterback when you don't have to throw post routes to get great stats? No, I can just throw it quickly to one of the fastest players in the entire nation and let him burn this defense.
Quick toss. And the 4th option there is to throw it in reverse, and that's what happened on that one.
Maybe that stop shows this defense is tightening up, especially in the run game. The offense, frankly, they've been able to do whatever they want to do. They're just handing the ball off. This guy's having success left and right. No, sir, no mas, get it together.
Well, it's a nice job by the tight end there. He's patient. He fights his way through all the traffic in the middle of the field, running that drag route, making it an easy completion for the quarterback.
Will they be able to get that 1 more yard and stick it in here on 3rd down? He'll keep it on the sneak.
Decision time right here. I like going for it. You're playing on the road. You have an opportunity to take the crowd out of it a little bit here. Why not just line up quickly and just try to run the ball?
Yeah, stay aggressive. I mean, you want to shut these people up. You want to quiet them down. Field goals don't do that very often. Try to go for the touchdown right now.
Will not get there. A 4th down stop.
And you feel pretty good about a quarterback sneak most of the time. Such a short yardage play. I just got to find a little crease and get through it. But this defense was more than ready for it. Built that wall up front. Nowhere to go. No push. Big stop by the D.
I like this guy as a running back because he can run between the tackles and he can also go outside. He can really do it all.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. The give to the tailback. Follows a good block there, picks up threes out to the 9. Missouri gets to the line quickly. They'll try to run for it. He just needed a yard on 3rd down, and there just wasn't any room to pick it up.
Great job by the defense. Everybody firing off the ball, hitting their guys, holding their gaps, running to the football, nowhere to go.
And the offense will stay on the field. Do you think they're just going to try to make the defense jump? They'll run for it on 4th down. Brought to the ground, but not before getting enough for the 1st down. The Tigers will have it 1st and 10.
I think everybody wants to go for it in this situation, but you got to actually do it, and you got to be comfortable with the consequences if you miss this. Obviously, he was. Conversion's good. Nothing to write home about. No fans upset. Everybody happy. All right.
He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a 1st down for this offense. The Tigers are moving quickly down the field. They'll give it to the back. Good job running tough and behind his pads as he gets up to the 38-yard line.
Small gain, I know, but again, the defense knows he's going to run the football. He's willing to run the football, not just drop back and pass, make him honor the run game. You got to do a lot of this.
On 2nd down, he's looking downfield. Makes the grab on the left. And the defense able to drag him down, but not before. They'll recycle that down marker.
Nice job by the running back, catching the football and understanding where the 1st down marker was. I got to go get that 1st down. Did a nice job of it.
First down to start the drive after the break. They'll go to the ground. Still running at the 40. They're ripping off chunks of yardage. They get it to the 33.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm always keeping track as a defensive coordinator where they're running the football. You can see they ran it to the right. Do they like this matchup? Is the right side of their offensive line really good? I'm going to be paying attention to that because that's a big gain. I got to make sure I shut this down the next time they run it.
Wants to throw on 1st down off the play fake. Gets it out fast. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup.
And listen, I know that wasn't a huge gain. It was positive, but I like doing more of that in today's college football. I'm just going to try to give my playmakers a chance to do damage in space away from all the big boys inside.
And he's a real nowhere man tackled in this no-gain land.
That's a great example of the defense there tackling the catch. As soon as the big fella caught the ball, down he went, not picking up the 1st.
3rd down conversions are a huge stat, and this one would be a doozy if they can pull it off. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the right. Makes the grab. Gets out of bounds after the big game, but they've got it 1st and goal. So now the opportunity with a touchdown to take the lead. Wide receiver now comes in motion. Touch pass on the right. Touchdown Tigers! And with that, they move out front here in the 4th. Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point is good, and every point counts. It's now a 4-point lead in the 4th. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Guys, let's get you up to speed on what's going down in this fun college football game today. Arizona State is just getting blown off the field right now. We've seen big games in Tempe over the years. I've personally never seen anything like this. They're trailing by 26 to Marshall. We'll circle back if anything big happens you need to know about.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. And Arkansas ready to send out this offense. That last drive was promising at times, but stalled out, and they turned it over on downs, Jesse.
I think they got to do a better job here, just being better early in the downs. On first down, finding positive plays.
Yeah, and it's frustrating when you move the football and get stopped on the other side of the field and get no points. But they've had some success, and I like the aggressiveness. They just got to cash some of these drives in.
They opened up this drive, getting all the way out to the 35, and now it's first down again. He wants to throw. He's got his man. Still on his feet at the 45. Ripped off a huge chunk play on that one as he gets the first down before he steps out of bounds.
And as a defense, how scary is it having to defend this guy? He's one of the fastest players in America, and you saw it on that last play. It's not necessarily throwing him the ball over your head. They just get it to him quickly. The hard part now is running and tackling that guy. Not easy to do.
They'll throw it on first down. Using his legs, keeping his eyes downfield.
I'll tell you what, coaches want you to do your best work late in the ball game. He did his best work. Great job taking off. Biggest run of the day after grinding this game out, makes it explosive. Now trying to put this game in a good situation.
Now from inside the red zone. The throw. Incomplete thanks to the great defensive pressure there that sort of threw them out of rhythm.
Yeah, and you can tell the timing wasn't great, and quarterback and receiver not on the same page, but when you're going to miss, don't miss towards the DB. You definitely want to miss out towards the sideline so you don't get yourself in trouble.
Wants to throw on second down. What a snag by the defense. And he's brought down after the pick, but not before putting his offense in business.
Well, the offense turns it over, and talking to their coaching staff before this game, they talked about how important it was to have good ball security and not give the opponent extra possessions. That time, poor decision by the quarterback, and the defense made them pay.
He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
And I like the first thought process right here. Run the football. We want to run that clock with the lead. Thank you to the defense for forcing that turnover, setting us up. Now, if we can put a few first downs together, we're looking really good.
Using the quick game. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
Well, the defense playing zone coverage there. They're taking away all of the QB's primary options down the field, so he has to check it down to the drag running underneath.
On third down, he drops to throw. Complete downfield. That's where they'll mark him a very productive play and a first down. And the Tigers come to the line with a new set of downs. Quick release on the RPO. And they'll finally get him down after a terrific pickup.
This is so interesting right now watching this offense stay aggressive. They've got the lead in the fourth quarter, and you're thinking at home, we got to just run the ball and try to bleed the clock. They found something on defense they're taking advantage of. 2 straight completions. I won't be surprised if they throw it again.
The give and tick, 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 tick. Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carry.
Well, we saw the coaching staff on the sideline challenging this offensive line to end this game. They've got the lead late now, and they know they're going to continue trying to run the ball to ice it.
Couldn't get him blocked on that last one. Now it's 2nd and 14. Fast motion from the offense. From the gun, the ground game. Solid fundamentals on that tackle from this freshman.
This is a big pressure moment for the offense, too, because they've got the lead, but it's now third down on their own side of the field. They would love nothing more than to be able to convert this, stay on the field, keep bleeding the clock. But the defense, I'd expect them to bring pressure here, trying to force the ball out of the QB's hands quickly.
Here he goes breaking the pocket. Complete to the right. He gets the job done on third down. They move the chains. It's at the 37. Let's see how they set the tone on 1st and 10.
29 Philly. 2-9 Philly.
Quarterback touch pass on the jet sweep. He is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose yards on that one. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. After that last loss, it's 2nd and 12. Pre-snap motion in the backfield. He's looking for an open man on 2nd down. Going to try to pop one on the screen. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a 1st down.
That play is going to drive the head coach absolutely crazy. You've got the lead. Why are you going out of bounds? Just get down, lead the clock. The clock right now is your friend.
And he runs through one tackle and picks up a few.
And that running back essentially just did everything right. Not only did he rip off a 9-yard run with the lead late in the game, but he stayed in bounds. He had the awareness that if I stay in bounds, the clock keeps running, and it increases our chances of winning this game.
The give to the back. Tackled after picking up the 1st down.
I love when players understand situations and they understand where the 1st down marker is and they understand where I got to get to. A lot of people you'll see run north-south and try to bounce out wide and make big plays. Sometimes it's not about making big plays. Sometimes it's about getting that 1st down to make sure I get an extra set of downs instead of trying to make those big touchdown runs.
Timeout called by the defense, 29 seconds to go.
Great job at contained by this defense. And in order to do that, the end man on the line of scrimmage defensively has got to be able to set the point and force the football back into traffic. And that's exactly what happened there.
And the offense is content with where it is. They'll take a knee. It's really easy to get caught up in the emotion of a rivalry game. We